What's up, guys? So recently I made a video on what to eat prior to going to BJJ class, and I'll leave that video up down below if you haven't seen it yet. And so today we're going to talk about what to eat after going to BJJ class. Okay. First, guys, it's real important. Let's talk about how your body works. Your body stores excess energy in the form of glycogen and protein. Okay. Glycogen, simply put, is just stored carbohydrate. Okay, that's all it is. But okay, so what happens? How your body prioritizes what calories to burn? It's going to take from first what you've ingested recently, hence the pre-BJJ meal we spoke about. Then it's going to take from your glycogen, and then when it comes time to muscle recovery, that's when it takes from the available protein stores that you have. Timing is hugely important as far as helping your body recover, guys. And what I mean by this is you want to have that meal within an hour after the completion of your BJJ class, okay? You know, to best give your body a chance to recover from all that you've done to it then. And also another important thing, and this is something I feel the cravings, and I'm not alone for sure, but having it within that hour is also going to be crucial is preventing me from making some really poor choices. Okay, if I don't eat that, you know, I start feeling really hungry. You know, especially all the calories are burned off in class, and my stomach's going to get really achy. And this is when I can fall victim to eat some real garbage. Okay, you know, this is when all of a sudden, you know, I wouldn't even look at a bag of potato chips or something, and then all of a sudden, like, damn, that looks fucking good. So this really, to me personally, it happens, you know, when I do not get the quality food in. You know, then all of a sudden it's like my body's just like, just get food from somewhere. You know, so it starts craving junk and all that stuff that I never do any other time. So, guys, within an hour of class. Some people I know, really, they claim, oh man, you have to have a half hour. You know, and you know, perhaps their bodies do work that way. You know, but you have to find out. But I think an hour is a good place to start. So check that out. Also, I'm going to show you guys. Let's show you some foods that I eat. Again, keep in mind, I'm a vegan. I know not everyone's not, but so I'm going to give you some examples. And if you're not, you know, just throw in what you want, okay? But I just want to show you, and we're going to talk about percentages of protein and carbs. So here we go. Okay, guys, I'm going to just show some of the foods that I had here in my cupboard, as well as my fridge. I still have to go shopping this weekend, so I'll have a bunch more to prepare myself for the weekend. But, alright, let's talk about some of the things, though, and why it's important to include in here. And first things first, guys, I think it's super important that you include foods that are known anti-inflammatories, okay? You know, these are things that you probably can't see, but, you know, after a BJJ class, you're going to have inflammation in your joints, you know, things within your shoulder, your lower back, maybe, those are places of me. But, you know, other people have knees, ankles, you know, those type of things. Hell, even your fingers. You know, they become inflamed. So you want to include foods that are anti-inflammatories. Just one example to use is an avocado. And I use an avocado instead of using mayo. You can kind of whip it up in a bowl, and make it a nice spread that's very similar to mayo, and it's, in my mind, is much tastier. But, you know, this is a food that has anti-inflammatory properties. And you know, one of the things that I have here right now is walnuts. Walnuts are the same. You know, I'll make sure if I don't use that, I'll just take a handful of these, and it helps big time as far as, you know, keep my inflammation down, or, you know, lowering it for me. So other things, guys, you know, fruits and veggies, awesome anti-inflammatory properties. I just have some things here. I have, like, well, French fruits, star fruit here, and mango. I have some sweet potato, regular potato, tomato. Things like berries are great as far as keeping inflammation down as well, definitely. So I'm trying to include those guys. Also, flax seeds. You know, you can throw those in pretty much anything, and, you know, they work well. So, all right. Now let's talk about things like protein. Okay, I like to, in the meal after my BJJ class, I like to take in 20% of my daily protein requirement of this meal, and this is going to ensure that I'm going to be adequately repairing the broken down muscles, the muscles that are, I guess, you know, breaking down during class and everything. So, and help the repair. You know, so for instance, let's just say, I mean, it's not the case, but let's say I've determined that I need 100 grams of protein a day to kind of maintain around the same size and strength and that. So obviously, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I'm getting at least 20 grams of protein in from this meal. So I mean, guys, pretty much a lot of stuff here that I have. You're going to have here's some of the stuff. Just, not to mention I'm a vegan, but this is actually really freaking tasty. This crispy chicken stuff, and each serving there's 10 grams of protein on that. Hell, even like quinoa per serving is 7 servings here. This has 5 grams. 5 grams of protein. So, I definitely get adequate protein. So here, that's kind of a general rule I use for myself, and it's worked out great for me, guys. So, you want to get 20% of your daily protein requirements in at your meal after your BJJ class. So, keep that in mind. Let's see, guys. I also, as far as carb intake, I make sure I get at least 3 to 4 times the amount of carbohydrate grams that I get over protein grams. Okay, so if I eat 20 grams of protein, I'll have a minimum. Usually I have much more, but I'll have a minimum of 60 to 80 grams of carbs. Okay, guys, a lot of this too. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, I can kind of look at things by sight now. I don't have to measure stuff out. But perhaps you may, and just take experience and everything. But it doesn't take forever. I'm at a point now. I know how much rice I need to take in after class, for instance. You see, I have my brown rice up here, so I know how much rice. I could just literally look at a bowl of rice and see how much I need to put on my plate that's going to help me recover. Okay, or anything like couscous that I have here, or orzo. This whole wheat, good stuff here. My bread. So but that was kind of long earned, okay? It took me a long time to get there, but I always make sure at least 3 to 4 times of that. I usually even have even more than that, but I'm talking just a minimum. Okay? And another thing is, guys, I take in about, of those carbohydrates I take in, and I take in probably, there's the complex carbs, which are things like your rice and those type of things I mentioned, and bread. But there's also simple sugars I want to make sure I ingest too, and these come in this form of fruit too. Okay, so I also like to get in. A nice mixture of these carbohydrates. Okay, so I try and make sure like a quarter to a third at least of the carbohydrates I'm ingesting come in the simple sugar form. Okay. You guys go to the Google machine. You can see, if you type in like foods that have simple carbs and things, you can find plenty of healthy options, as well as complex carbs. So check it out, because everyone's tastes are different, and so I can totally respect that. And I certainly don't imagine anyone being able to have the same diet I have. It's just not just the way it is. So. But anyways, guys, these are kind of the important things to remember, okay? And keeping things handy is really super important as well. All right, you want to make sure that you always have food on the ready. A lot of times I'll always have like a bunch of rice I'll make at the beginning of the week or over the weekend, and just kind of ready to go. So I can kind of just throw things together. I can get home from BJJ. I can throw some throw some chicken. Fake chicken, obviously, that I eat in with the rice, and man, cut up some veggies real quick, and dude, I have a meal in like no time. It's crazy. So, just easy way of doing stuff. Make things easy as possible. Buy tons of Tupperware and just kind of get things ready. A lot of times I'll just do when I'm uploading these videos, I'll be making my food for the week. So, see what you can do to kind of multitask as well around the house. So. As far as potatoes, another awesome thing as well, man. I eat a ton of these every week. So, anyways, guys, keep that in mind. Here we go. It's just the important things I think to help my body recover. And I imagine most people are probably going to be somewhere similar. You kind of got to play around. 20% of your protein comes from there, and then have a minimum of 3 to 4 times the amount of protein grams that come in the form of carbohydrates. And I like to have around a third of those carbohydrates come in the form of simple sugars. Okay. Anyhow, guys, hold on. Let me turn this thing around here. Let's see. Ooh. Here I am. Okay. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, leave them below. And as always, guys, I appreciate you watching. And if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. We'll talk to you soon. Ooosss.